Hi and Assalamualaikum. We are from Group 3. We will present about the inventory case 3. First, we are required to list and explain the reasons for the audit procedure used in obtaining evidence in relation to inventory count of inventory held in the shops. Okay, so first, auditor need to ensure that there is no movement of the diamond jewelry during the inventory count. If the movement is necessary, the auditor should be notified. Why? Because to prevent the double counting and to make sure all the diamond jewelries are counted. Second, to ensure that the client staff following the inventory count instruction during perform an overall overview with the client staff. If there is the count team not following the instructions, the auditor should take note and notify the representative of the area or line because to ensure that the count accurate and complete. Third, auditor confirms a clear layout to ensure the inventory is divided into proper sections for recording. For example, maybe perhaps according to type of jewelry. It is because we need to ensure not miscounting any items. Fourth, to ensure that there's no transaction schedule so that as auditor, we need to make sure that the shop is closed because to prevent the double counting and confusion that could lead to miscounting. Fifth, count team works in pair. One person checking the inventory while other person records the details. It is to prevent the collusions and provide a check over the security of inventory as the diamond jewelry are high in value and to ensure that the count sheets not falsified. Okay, next, to perform test counts and agree to sample of inventory that already recorded. This is to ensure that the existence of the inventory that recorded. 7. Obtain tag control information which include the documentations of the numerical sequence of all inventory tags and accounting for all used and unused inventory tags for testing the Rock Forever's inventory compilations. This is to ensure the accuracy and the completeness. Next, to obtain the number of the last receiving documents and sales invoice number. This is to ensure that the cut-off is correct. Next, to observe or review the conditions of jewelry with independent valuer from UJ. Why? Because to ensure the valuations of the image, obsolete or slow-moving jewelry is correct and accurate. Okay, 10. Make sure count sheets are pre-numbered and being checked after the physical count. This is basically to prevent the loss of count sheets and ensure all sheets are counted so that there is no understated of the inventory. Lastly, form an opinion regarding the physical count. It is because the auditor need to give assurance or the confirmations that the inventory has been correctly recorded and accurately recorded.
Next, question B required to explain the factors you should consider when placing reliance on the work of UJ. So the answer is the ISA 500 audit evidence requires the auditor to evaluate the competencies, capabilities and expertise of the management expert object. Since Dicky has no skills in jewelry knowledge, Dicky has to prove that they really do need expertise in their field. However, since Rocks Forever is the only customer in the diamond industry, Dicky do need some help appreciating diamonds. Next, the auditor should consult with the expert and discuss with them their relevant expertise to ensure that the expert has relevant experience in evaluating the diamond jewelry. Part of the appointment process will including examining users' work portfolio to show that they value diamonds in other situations. Besides that, other factors include evaluating eligibility criteria and evaluating whether they are members of a professional body or an industry association. BK must ensure that user is a member of the appropriate professional body. This will help ensure that users adhere to appropriate ethical standards as this will be enforced by their professional body. Further, expert freedom must be ensured with possible traits such as unreasonable reliance on rocks forever. For example, because UJ is employed by rocks forever, Barriger would mean less self-reliance and limited value in expert reports. Lastly, the evaluation should be evaluated by examining the reports made by the experts on the valuation of the diamond. Although DK does not have other customers who sell diamonds, the basic price comparison for a few diamonds can still be obtained from other stores or websites to prove the accuracy of UJ numbers.
So the third question required us to describe the audit procedure that we should perform to ensure that the jewelry's inventory is valued correctly. According to MFRS 102, inventories need to be valued at the lower of cost and net realizable value. So in order to ensure that the jewelry is valued correctly, the first audit procedure that we should perform is by choosing a random sample of jewelry on the final inventory sheets and then trace the cost of that item to the original purchase invoice. This is a tracing method. So this method is used in order to ensure that the descriptions of goods on the invoice matches with the samples. Next, for jewelry that is sold after the end of the year, check a sample of sales invoice back to the final inventory sheets to ensure that the sales value exceeds the cost. This is a vouching method. However, if the sales value is less than cost, the jewelry needs to be stated at the realizable value on the inventory sheets.
Next, review the report of the professional valuer. Ensure that the inventory is genuine. For the items that have been checked by the valuer, the valuation should be recorded in the inventory statement, where when there is a differences due to the age of the inventory or changes in fashion, the realistic valuation should be discussed and agreed on with the client. In this situation, the value should be provided by the professional valuer. Where an item has been in inventory for a long period of time, perhaps over 1 year, check the valuer's report to find out whether any allowance is required. Thank you. That's all from our group.